Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am doing a little bit of a different video, one that I haven't done in the past. Now the international viewers might not know what they're looking at, but this is an Australian $50 note. This is actually 10 Australian $50 notes, so 500 bucks Australian. And this was given to me by Nancy. And she hasn't just given me 500 bucks, that would be a very strange thing to do. No, when we met up at my grandfather's funeral, she handed me this 500 bucks to hunt for some material for her. So in this video, I'm going to show you what I can come up with from this $500. Now I'll put the conversions in terms of US dollars and stuff up on the screen so you guys get a bit of an understanding of what it is. But yeah, we're going to get a pretty assorted batch of Australian opal, and I'm going to sneak in some international opal there, so she's got a full-on collection and she can carve into them and see how they all feel. She'll have a really good understanding of opal from all around the place. Hopefully we can get her some decent deals. I'll skip over the hunting of them and we'll jump straight to what I've got. I am going to try to snag some sneaky auctions here and there and really inflate what we can get for the 500. So let's see what we got. Alright, flash forward a few weeks and here's what I've got. Now, Nancy did request a lot of things in particular, so we'll go through those quickly. We got things like a jeweler's loop. All of the tools that I got her ended up totaling about 50 bucks. So this is the same one that I use. It's a 30 and a 60, I think, and it's way overkill, but if you can't see it on a 30, you're not going to see it by your naked eye, and it'll get a really good finish. Some of my felt polishing burrs, $8. I've given her a little bit of a sample stick of wax. It's pretty tricky, but it's enough to give her a bit of practice, and then you've just got to try to find the right wax. I haven't even been able to find it recently, so it is getting trickier to find this wax. A lot of the time you'll see this light green stick, and it basically just doesn't stick as well. I think it's missing a bit of the shellac content or something. I know people have added some other stuff to it to make it a bit better, but this is the good old stuff that you used to be able to get all over the place. Now it seems pretty hard to get. So this price is just based on what I bought a full stick. The full stick's probably about that long. And you can get those for 15-20 bucks. So a little $5 piece there, and that's what that steel plate there is. So if you've seen my video on using wax doping, you'll know what the steel plate is for. If you don't know what the steel plate is for, go check it out. I'll link it in the description or whatever. It's very good, a huge time saver, and makes it so much easier to use wax. So that's what that little scrap plate is. She wanted a pack of the sandpaper burrs, so they're there. And I sent her a bunch of sintered diamond and stuff recently. She did a purchase and forgot to get a dressing stick, so $5 dressing stick. I don't sell this on the store, but I've just given her a couple cutting discs and a mandrel to mount those on, like $2. That's the reason I don't stock them on the store. You can get them pretty cheap online. These ones aren't the jumbo ones. I tend to use bigger ones, but I don't have a lot of those spare, so I've given her the ones that I used to use. The little holes are actually quite good. It clears out the material as you're cutting it. Yeah, all that came to about 50 bucks, and then the rest of it we're just going to turn into opal. Now I've gone with something like my giveaway pack, but a lot more of it, and focusing on some of the Aussie opal that I think she'll have fun cutting. So we'll zoom in a bit. So starting off, a little bit of the variety. I've marked everything on here. In here we've got some Dendritic opal, some Australian pink opal, some leopard opal, some fossilized wood opal, and some fire agate. So you can see all those there. There's the Dendritic, there's the fire agate, leopard opal, pretty nice piece that one. That one's actually got a lot of colour in it. That's what it looks like untreated, pretty cool stuff. Australian pink opal from WA, and there's a nice chunk of wood opal. I tried to pick out one of the ones that had the most woody-like features. So a nice little assorted bundle there. Variety pack of Ethiopian. I really want to set Nancy up with, basically she can say she's got almost all the varieties opal out there. She's a little short of it, but I've given her a really good head start. So Ethiopian, we've got wello, stayish, and shewa. So you got the chocky opal. Huge one there, nice one, really good colour in it, not too crackly, just what we like to see. There's a wello but with a honey body tone. I've got one with a bit of a grey-blue body tone. There you go there, a lot of colour in that. And then one that's more of a white body tone. Now this little guy here is actually a little piece that I took out of a kit that Pulitzer sent me. So he sent me a bunch of this. This is untreated, what they call black Ethiopian opal. So from the stayish mine, it actually comes out of the ground like this. That's not smoke treated, but it's pretty unstable. So I've got a lot of crackled little bits and pieces. I'm going to play with them and see if we can get some better results, use some interesting methods to try to stabilize it and stuff. She'll be stocked up with Ethiopian opal. I've given her a small sample pack of things that I don't have a lot of, like the Mintabie and andamooka, just so that she can say she's practiced cutting it. The Mintabie is always pretty sad, but I've given her a couple of the bigger chunks because Nancy's had issues with her hands. She says it's aging. I think she's just had a bad run of luck. So give her some pieces that she can really hold on to. Now she can dot with the wax, so she can give those a crack. We got some andamooka matrix here, a little purple chunk and a little green chunk. Nothing too fancy, but enough to just say that she's got it. I know her real heart lies with Boulder opal, so I've focused more on that. Coober Pedy. Here I've given her a pretty good spread and assortment as well. So there's a couple here. I haven't actually included any big chunks of potch, which is a bit of a mistake. I'll include a couple massive potchy pieces just so that you can practice getting a polish on them before jumping to the ones with the color, which is basically everything in here. Given a little shell that I've had on my desk, planning on working on it for ages, but the more I look at it, the less I want to work on it. It's got all those nice features, and instead I think it's better that Nancy have a good muscle piece. But you can see here I've given her lots of little bits of shell. She's got some stuff here that I typically use for doubleting material, so when I make some videos on that, she can give it a crack herself. Got some big chunks of white with a bunch of wild colors in it, which is going to be the ones that she can cut and have a bit of fun with. And then there's some other skinnier, thinner color bar ones as well, which are a bit tricky, but hopefully when she's on the mend, she'll be able to get through those in no time. And yeah, some pieces just to practice polishing up. Just add a little bit more to that Coober Pedy one before we send it off. Lightning Ridge, everybody's favorite. Now I've got a nice example of a Lightning Ridge wood opal in here. It's a nice little crystal purpley piece, but it's got really good wood features on it. Like you can see the it's like full grains of bark and stuff. It's really, really nice piece, a really good example. And I think that one she can just set aside and keep. So I've kept that one separate just in case she gets it mixed up with everything else. But apart from that, this one I have actually given her some big chunks of potch to practice on and get right. There's one there that I've just rubbed back, got rid of the sand just to give her a practice. There's a nice area there just to get it shiny. Once you can get that shiny, you can be pretty confident to move on to some of the trickier pieces. Some are a bit sandy. I've given her a full variety in here. So there's crystal, there's black, there's even white. There's a lot to play with in this one. And I think I might actually give her a couple more chunks of the Lightning Ridge that I've got around. Maybe a couple smaller pieces. I don't want to give her anything too small, but the smaller pieces with a bit of color that she can practice dopping and shaping and cutting up nicely. But hopefully some of those will yield some good stones. Once they're wet, there's some good bars in there. Dry, everything looks less impressive, including Boulder. So ignore these two massive chunks of Boulder here. These were given to me by Nancy, but I'm going to do a little bit of work on them. I haven't got around to it yet. Bit of work, and then we're going to use those as some nice pieces. But I've included a bunch of stuff in here, so maybe I'll get them out. There's a little yawa nut, one of the closed off yawa nuts. I've got an identical split to this one, so I want to work on this one on the channel and then she can work on hers, and we should get a very similar result. Matrix opal, Winton fairy opal, some more crystally bits and a couple bars that she can hunt within some of the other pieces. I might actually add a few more bits of Boulder opal to her bag as well. And then with opal, it can be a cruel teacher and it can really beat you down, and you might end up with absolutely nothing, though I highly doubt it with the stones that I've put together for her. So I've just wanted to include this one, and this is something I advise a lot of beginners to do. As you're working away, chuck your best stone aside. Get a little container. It doesn't have to be like this one, but I like these ones. It's super protective, and also you can still see the opal inside. Just get one of these and keep putting your best stone that you've cut inside here and just keep it on your bench. It's a bit of motivation and it'll be nice. So this piece that I've got for her was from the Nick Hoops parcel recently, and you can see here it's just a nice sparkly little stone. I really hope that she can cut something much better than that very quickly and get this one out of here and get a new one. That's it. A whole bundle there for her, and hopefully she has a lot of fun with it. I've also got two other parcels just off the corner of the screen here. One's for the last giveaway winner, so Lisa's parcel, which has a lot of the variety of this, just a lot less of it. And also Crom wanted a bundle, and I've still got to send him back his stone and a torch that he won in the giveaway as well, so I've just given him some bonus opal there as well. 3 insane variety packs ready to be shipped off, and it's super hot, so I'm going to call it quits and see you in the next one.